"Comrade Minister, you'll catch cold." That was Ilyich Vidinyin for you, the old man thought sourly, always willing to state the obvious. At their feet, falling snow turned a tarpaulin white. "Well, aren't you going to show me?" Vidinyan's son yanked back the cover to reveal a boy of 12 or 13, apparently asleep. He was naked, his head and any body hair shaved clean. His mouth was very slightly open, and his genitals looked tiny. The jelly of his eyes was milky white, and he stared so blindly that for a second the old man looked away. The little finger of the boy's right hand was missing. The cut was clean, no blood on the snow beneath. Kneeling, the old man touched the boy's chest and then his face, almost gently. The flesh was hard as ice. "Strange," he muttered. "What is, sir?" "He can't have been here long enough to freeze." The old man was readying himself to stand when he paused and covered his action by tapping for a second time the white marble of the frozen boy's chest, pretending to listen to its dull thud. Then he checked that he'd seen what he thought he'd seen. Almost entirely hidden in the boy's mutilated hand was a tiny wax angel. That was unnerving enough. What was more unnerving still was that the angel had the boy's face. Glancing up to make sure he wasn't being watched, the old man palmed the angel and pocketed it. There was a message in the whiteness of the wax, as there was a message in the frozen state of the body placed so carefully in front of the Supreme Soviet's center of power. The old man had to admit he was slightly shocked that the dead boy and figurine should come together, not least because the latter could only have come from someone he knew to be dead. Chapter 2. New Year's Eve, December 1985. The British Embassy on Maurice Thorez's embankment was across the river from the Kremlin. As the ambassador was fond of reminding people, the sight of the flag on its roof once so upset Stalin that he demanded the building back. When the British refused, Stalin had curtains put up to hide the view. Anglo-Soviet relations were better these days, but not by much. The last man to arrive at that night's party was a major in British Army intelligence, recently seconded to Moscow at short notice, and with the kind of ill-defined job that annoyed Sir Edward intently. The ambassador liked people who knew their place. He also liked to know what that place was. It might have reassured him to know the major wasn't a whole lot happier. The place, the people, the party, none of them fitted Tom Fox's idea of a perfect New Year's Eve. He'd arrived 5 days earlier to discover that barely anyone at the embassy knew he was coming, and those who did seemed bemused by the fact. Only Sir Edward had been unsurprised, and he'd been disapproving without bothering to say why. Tom managed 15 minutes before heading for the nearest balcony and an emergency cigarette. Standing in a chill wind with snow splattering onto his dinner jacket, he looked resignedly at the icy flatness of the Moskva river and wondered how soon he could head back to his flat. He'd been in the Soviet Union less than a week. It was already too long. If Kara were here, she'd say go and make friends. She'd know what to say and who to say it to. His wife's talent for socializing had rubbed off for a while until things soured between them, and he'd stopped bothering. When the balcony door creaked, he refused to look as a figure came to stand beside him, leaning against the cold balustrade. "Got a cigarette?" He passed his packet across without comment. "I'll need a lighter." Tom put his Bic on the balustrade, where it wobbled in the wind until the girl closed her fingers around it. As it flared and she put up a hand to shield the flame, he noticed a jade ring on her engagement finger.